Well, good morning, everyone. Happy April. Thank you for being with us here today. And I want to first start by talking about the storms that came through our area over, well, it was Sunday night, as well as what weather we have, whether we're expecting for the rest of the week. I first want to talk to our friends and neighbors in Fairdale. Yesterday, along with EMA Director Jody Myman, had an opportunity to visit with some individuals who were impacted by the tornado that came through our city on Sunday night, and talked to some of the impacted neighbors in Fairdale. Fortunately, there was no serious injury to any individuals, although certainly there was a significant amount of property damage in a limited area in the heart of Fairdale, particularly related to some trees that were down, some sheds that were blown, roofs that were impacted, a couple of homes as well impacted as well. So I'm glad that the recovery has begun. We'll have folks out there today that will be contacting individuals to see if we can help them with any federal assistance. But unfortunately, we're not out of the woods yet, because there is some potential for some severe weather beginning tomorrow night and for later this week. And all types of severe weather are in play, including damaging winds and flooding and possibly more. Jody's going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We will open up the Emergency Operations Center tomorrow afternoon in preparation for the severe weather that we are expecting tomorrow evening, and we will stay there as long as necessary. So I want to again reiterate, to speak to everyone in the entire city to please be prepared. Please make sure you know where your flashlights are, that your phones are fully charged before a weather event is expected. And importantly, please sign up for Lens Alert. That's 67283. I just want to briefly remind everybody about the various types of warnings that we have across the county for severe weather situations. First, of course, are sirens. The sirens went off on Sunday evening, as they are supposed to. The sirens are intended for folks that are outside. Now, many people like myself, I was at home on Sunday night, and I was able to hear those sirens. Many people can hear them inside the homes, but they are designed to be outdoor warning systems. The best way to get those same alerts is by signing up to Lens Alert at 67283, and then on your phone, you will get those with specificity about what the warning is via Lens Alert directly to your phone. Additionally, there's something called iPause. iPause is from the National Weather Service. It's a national system that is more localized, and that you don't have to sign up for. But if you are in the area where there is a targeted warning, you get an alert and a sound directly to your phone. So, for example, where the tornado was on Sunday evening in Fairdale, those individuals around there should have been getting directly to their phone this iPause alert that is forced to the phone. Jody was driving to the heart of the storm during it while it was going on, and when he crossed a certain geographic area, his phone immediately got that iPause alert, because with geo-fencing, he was in that area that was getting it. So again, there are outdoor sirens. People can sign up for Lens Alert, and then there's also the iPause system. I was talking to friends in Fairdale yesterday, and they were telling me one of the women whose home was probably most impacted in all of Fairdale. She was looking for, she was looking for the flashlight and making sure they had the right batteries. You want to be prepared and have that ahead of time. So please have a severe weather plan and supplies ready. And especially with heavy flooding projected for later in this week with the heavy storms, be very careful if you're out and about driving, whether it's during the storm or after. You do not want to drive or walk into flood waters. Turn around. Turn around if you see anything that looks out of the norm with respect to water level risings. And finally, just a final thanks to everyone, to meteorologists to help us predict this weather, to the LG&E crews that are out there that worked incredibly quickly overnight on Sunday night to get people back with power, to our first responders, to everyone involved, a giant thank you. And one of those individuals that will work at whatever hour of the day it's severe weather happens is our Executive Director of Emergency Management, and that's Jody Myman, who's going to talk a little bit more about what to expect for the rest of the week. Jody? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So just to reiterate and go back a little bit on what happened Sunday night, we've got a team of folks out now doing damage surveys. So they're primarily focusing again on that Fairdale area. But if someone in Jefferson County has damage to their homes or property due to the storms that came in Sunday, they need to call 311 so that we can get out, do that damage survey for your property and get that into the state system again, so we can potentially try to get any kind of assistance for you. Debris management, we're working with Louisville Metro Public Works about, developing debris management. Every area in the city is going to get an area for drop-off. But, what I'm getting ready to talk about here in just a second is we're going to be getting multiple rounds of severe weather, including some, several inches of rain. So, instead of doing several different drop-off locations through the week, we're going to kind of see how this works out through the week and offer that, again, to several locations throughout Jefferson County. So pay attention to that. One of the things that we encourage is, especially after the storm that happened on Sunday night, the storms that are potentially coming in tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, make sure that you're cleaning up your debris, because we don't want to affect any of the natural water streams from clogging and causing some additional problems to roads or other things that may be affected if you don't actually get out and clean that up. So make sure you're taking care of your properties. And again, listen to the announcements that's coming from the city and the mayor about where those debris drop-off locations are going to be at. We've also got some in floodplains that we're having to look at to get other locations because obviously with the rain that's coming in, that may not be an option for us as well. So again, starting tomorrow night, Wednesday evening, it's looking, potentially like some of the same weather that we had the other night. Overnight into the morning on Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon. This is a multiple round event that, it's been a long time since the city's faced anything like this, the state's faced anything like this. But, one of the main things that we're really concerned about is the rain and the amount of water that we're going to get. Right now we're in the 8 to 10 section, according to the National Weather Service's most updated slides that came out this morning, but we're right on the border of the 10 to 15. So that's going to be very impactful for the area. So make sure that you're preparing now, not only for severe weather, but also for some flooding events. If you lose power, your sump pump's not going to work. You need to have a backup plan on potentially how to get water out of your basement. So these are things that could affect us in several different ways. And again, like the mayor said, be prepared now. Simple things like finding batteries for your flashlights and knowing where you can go if you lose power. And again, generator safety. If you use a generator, don't use it near doors or windows so you don't get carbon monoxide in your building. So there's several different things that's going to come up. Sign up for Lens Alert, like you said. Like the mayor said, that's the biggest thing and the best way to get emergency alerts. And then again, if we have to use the Integrated Public Alert and Warning System, or what's known as IPAWS, we can initiate that, as well as the National Weather Service can initiate it as well. So pay attention. This is a serious issue that we're coming into for the next 4 or 5 days. But prepare now, and that's the biggest thing that we want to emphasize to the public. Thank you.
Thanks, Jody. Maybe we'll just do something a little bit. We'll stop there for 1 second. If there are questions about weather, we'll take that before we get on to our main topic today, which we want to talk about housing and some of the great things that are happening with Louisville Metro Housing Authority. But does anyone have weather-related questions? Yeah, Paul.
Thank you, Mayor. With all the rain that's coming in and all the rain we've had, is there a concern that this is going to affect waterfront parks, viewing area, Thunder over Louisville?
We hope not. What happens if something, Jody, correct me if I'm wrong, but typically when we have large rain events like this, that isn't the direct cause of the river flooding. That usually is based on a lot of weather events that are happening to the east and north of here, upriver, that then impact us. So I'm not sure what the weather is up there, but I've not heard of any river rising. Have you?
No. Well, okay. We'll have to really watch to see how this affects, and then to see what the predictions are and where the river actually ends up. So we're in constant contact with Matt Gibson and the Kentucky Derby Festival. We actually have a big planning meeting this afternoon, so that's going to be one of the top discussions. And unfortunately, we've been through this before, so they've got a good plan on how to mitigate and how to eliminate, the public from getting in to encounter some of that river flooding if it does happen.
That, by the way, for everyone's, that's April 12th, so a week from Saturday night is Thunder over Louisville. We'll kick off Derby festivities. Yes? Yeah, so we live in a challenging environment where there are certain areas that are more prone to flooding than others, particularly around, for example, also around Beargrass Creek. There are a lot of areas that are flooding in there. Certainly in Cherokee Park was flooded last time as well. So there are low-lying areas, and we just want to encourage neighbors. They typically know where those areas are to be clear. Every rain event and flood event is a little bit different, so we don't know exactly where it will be occur. That's why we are always stressing. You all who hear us talk about this a lot might think that we're just saying the same thing over and over again, but we want to be sure people hear to, if you see rising water, to be safe. Don't try to drive through it. There are some roadways, some underpasses where flood waters do occasionally get. Do not try to pass through those areas.
And then is there a need for any flood walls to be put up or anything?
No, we're not expecting at this point. But again, as Jody just said, we'll continue to work with the Army Corps of Engineer. We'll be monitoring river levels. At this point, we don't expect anything with the Ohio River flood walls to go in. Anything else weather related? All right, great.